Hello, my name is JW, well known as JW on YouTube. I'm going to read my story, Horror of the Night. Okay?
Yep.
In the dark and lonely woods, there was a cabin. There was a little girl who used to live in that cabin with her parents. But lots of people didn't dare to go in the woods because her parents were out to get the people who lived in a little village down the street. But one day there was 4 people who came into the little village to interview all of the people in the village to see what all of the business was of that cabin and to see what exactly happened in that cabin 4 years ago. But no one would tell them, so they thought they would go see for themselves. But then one of the villagers asked all of them, "Where are all of you going?" "Well, is that any of your business?" they replied to the man. And the man said, "You are going in that wood at your own risk." The people said, "We do not care." So they went in to the wood. They were all talking to each other then. They asked Ross, "Did you hear that?" Ross was one of their friends from their old village. But he did not reply to them. There he was hanging on the tree with a rope round his neck. They all screamed, How could have this happened?" But then they looked round and saw a person with a scream mask on, and he had a chainsaw in his hand. They all ran as fast as they could, as possibly as they could. But then they all looked behind them. One of them said, "Okay, we have lost him," so they carried on walking again. One of them needed the toilet. One of them went behind this abandoned house in the woods. They all slowly started walking forward again. They all were wondering, "Where is Luke? He was taken forever." One of the people who started to shout, "Luke, where are you?" He was looking for Luke, so he went behind the house and he saw a shadow of the person. "Are you something?" And he said, "Luke, there's no point of hiding. I have just saw you." But of course it wasn't Luke, though, was it? It was a clown. He had an axe in his hand, laughing at the person. The person ran and shouted for the other guys, but of course he was too slow. He got the person and sliced his head straight off. The other guys said, "They are both taking too long. We will just have to go ahead without them." The other one replied and said, "Okay, let's carry on forward." Then they got to the cabin. The other one replied, one of the guy, which is called George, said, "I think we're here. I think we are as well." So the other one said, "Let's go inside." They went inside. They split up and went in the other rooms and said, George shouted, "Come here now." And then they both looked, and there was Luke and their other friends in the body of a little girl, and the other friend was in the body of the mum. George said, "I always knew Rob looked good as a girl." And they heard someone laughing. George turned round and said, "Did you hear that?" And the other one said, "Yeah, did you?" And the minute they looked, Chainsaw Massacre was standing right in front of them. One of them had their head took off straight away. There was blood and guts everywhere. Then luckily the one didn't die. Luckily the one who didn't die, he ran as fast as he could and got away. He ran back to the village, and then that man was there who they met at the very beginning, and the wood, and then he stabbed him right in the heart. Blood and guts everywhere. The end.